vine dresser asked the owner to let it alone this year also. That says to me, now this is not the first time that the vine dresser has had to run interference for this tree. He said, leave it alone this year also. That suggests, you all, that not only has the owner come at the wrong times previously, but perhaps he has come at the wrong time again. In other words, the vine dresser tell him, now listen, I know you want fruit, but you're still too early. He says, I know you want to enjoy figs now, but it's not season for this particular tree. Stick with me, you all, I'm going somewhere now. Undoubtedly, watch this. There were other trees that already had figs on them. But scholars have suggested that perhaps this particular tree was younger than the others. It had not been planted when the rest of them were planted. So maybe that's the reason it had not yet produced. Now watch this here. Now, this is what confused the owner. When he looked at the other trees, they had leaves and they had figs. But when he looked at this particular tree, it had leaves but no figs. See, the confusion, you all, lie in the leaves. Because, see, leaves were a sign that some fruit ought to be on the tree. So the owner was making a decision based on signs, but the dresser was making decisions based on season. Somebody just missed what I said. See, the owner was confusing signs with season, but the dresser said, you may see the sign, but this is not the season. See, some of y'all missed it. Let me give it to you again. See, there are some of you all, probably about 50 of you all, who are frustrated with your life right now. Why? Because all of the signs say you should have it now, but your season says not yet. God help me, please. Let me say it again. All of the signs say I should have it now, but the season says not yet. And listen, even when your season says not yet, the worst thing you can do is confuse not yet with not ever. Let me say it again. The worst thing a believer can do is confuse not yet with not ever. I've told you this before, but you've probably forgotten, so let me tell you again. The greatest phrase in the vocabulary of the believer is not yet. Look at your neighbor and say, not yet. You see, this word yet allows us to place actuality within the covering of potentiality. In other words, I can look at what I don't have yet and know it's on the way. So somebody just missed what I said. You can look at what you don't have now and know it's on the way. The word for somebody today is the reason you ought to shout over your leaves is because your now is saying not yet, but your leaves are saying it's on the way. Is there anybody here who can bless God because it's on the way? Who can thank God because it's on the way? Who can celebrate the fact that it's on? Here's my confusion, church. The vine dresser and the vineyard owner both see the same leaves. One says, kill it. The other says, spare it. Kill it, spare it. Observation, inspection. I've got a sneaking suspicion that the vine dresser had learned some things about leaves, Roy, that the vineyard owner didn't know. Can I help y'all with leaves real quick? I did some research, Bond, and I had to wrestle with the fact, why is it that some of these trees have leaves and other trees have no leaves? One horticulturalist says that when you see leaves on a tree and it's not season, it might suggest that there is still some fruit left from last season. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. How is it that a tree can have leaves and it's not its season? It might be because it's got some fruit left from last season. Now watch this, watch this, watch this. The last season was the spring. Biblicists, based upon other texts, have suggested that this particular parable takes place around March, which means if the tree has some leaves, that means that the tree was strong enough to survive the winter and still have some stuff left. I don't know how y'all sit on that. I said the tree has come through the winter and still have some stuff left. Here it is. No matter how tough your season is, it should never take everything from you. You ought to be able to save some stuff from your last good season. Is there anybody here that can say, I did